One of the questions that we've had often on the back of this insight is if or when will production recover in the Eagle Ford and the Bakken. Now, we think production does recover in the Eagle Ford or the Bakken, but at a more modest pace. And we don't see the recovery beginning until probably the early part of 2017. Now, how do we go from a scenario where we're in a downward production trajectory to where we begin growing in the early part of 2017? Well, a lot of this has to do with base declines. And what I mean by that is all of the wells that are producing today are declining at a rapid rate. But the further we get away from the rig peak of 1,100 horizontal rigs about a year ago this time, the shallower that base decline becomes. So the number of rigs needed to get back to a growth scenario in the Eagle Ford and the Bakken shrinks with every month. So come the early part of 2017, yes, we'll see growth out of the Eagle Ford and the Bakken, but at a much more slow and modest pace than what we've seen in the past. The Wolfcamp in the Delaware Basin is one of the most exciting areas in tidal today. A major reason for this is the potential of the underlying rocks. We think that 2016 is the year that operators actually begin to harness some of that enormous potential, and it starts to show itself in the data set. What we mean by that is throughout 2015, operators became very adept at adopting technology that increases productivity performance. However, there's a lag time between the adoption of technology and the resulting productivity improvement. So what we expect to see is a 30% increase per lateral foot in terms of production rates from 2015 compared to 2016. Of course, when we put together an insight like this, we're leaning on all branches of our research, from the respective integrated teams to the tools that we provide. Now, one of the tools that was instrumental in this insight was our North American Well Analysis Tool, or NAWAT for short. We use NAWAT to help us screen for leading edge indicators for productivity improvement in the Delaware Basin. One example of this would be the proppant loads that operators are using. We tracked who the leading edge operators were, the amount of proppant they were using, and which operators were second to adopt these technologies. This gave us some insight into what productivity might look like in the Delaware Basin in 2016.